Let's move on to Jennings Dunker. You want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a quick little Jennings Dunker scouting report here. We talked, and again, we're kind of falling back now and going in the order of our draft board. Jennings Dunker is a player that's been on our radar the entire time. Some people say he's a tackle. Some people say he's a guard. If he was drafted by Green Bay, I think he would settle in at guard, would be my guess. But you never know, man. They seem to change their mind from time to time here in Green Bay when it comes to that type of stuff. But Jennings Dunker, what is your initial thoughts of Jennings Dunker before we get into the detailed scouting report, Emilio? And I go on a ramble here, reading off a bunch of information. How do you feel about Jennings Dunker? Would you be okay at 52 if we were to select him if he were on the board and available?
Absolutely. I've been kind of leaning on it. Interior O-line, interior D-line, potentially edge if maybe one drops to us. But at 52, I feel like it's trenches. And then from there on, we'll fill out from there. But I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. I'd be totally for it.
I would too, man. So obviously Easton Butler tweeted this out. The Packers met with Iowa offensive lineman Jennings Dunker at the Senior Bowl. This was back then. Obviously, we just pulled it and put it on the profile here. So he's on the Packers' radar to a certain extent. All right, Dunker's moving on to the professional ranks after a highly decorated career at Iowa City. In Iowa City. He is currently one of the primary stock-up players at the 2026 Senior Bowl, where his ability to take reps at both tackle and guard has generated significant buzz amongst NFL executives. So the scouting report, offensive tackle / guard, okay? Number 67 there for the Hawkeyes. He was a senior, 6'5", 315 is what he was listed at. A native of Lena, Illinois, Dunker is the quintessential Iowa weight room warrior, known for his flowing red hair and immense functional strength. He was credited with a 600-pound back squat before the age of 20. Jeez, he developed into a cornerstone of the Hawkeyes offensive line. He capped his career by helping Iowa win the Joe Moore Award, the nation's best offensive line, and was named a first-team All-Big Ten selection in 2025. So let's talk about the physical profile and athleticism. He's got a Mauler mentality. Dunker plays with a glass eater attitude. He is I'm glad there's a G there, glass eater attitude. He is a high motor finisher who looks, keep it together, Emilio, be mature here, who looks to drive defenders into the turf on every snap. Explosive power. He possesses rare lower body drive. His ability to displace defenders at the point of attack makes him an elite asset for gap-heavy rushing schemes. Functional versatility. While he played primarily right tackle at Iowa, he has repped at both tackle and guard during Senior Bowl practices. Some scouts even noted him taking center snaps, showcasing the utility man value NFL teams crave. All right, so we talk about technical skills, run blocking prowess. Dunker is at his best when moving forward. He takes excellent angles to the second level and has the grip strength to latch and steer linebackers out of the play. Strong anchor in pass protection. He uses a wide base and natural leverage to absorb bull rushes. He has rarely walked back into his quarterback's lap. He's got a high football IQ, a multi-time academic All-American. Dunker's intelligence shows on tape in his ability to pass off stunts and identify blitzers early in the reps. So really the run blocking prowess sticks out to me here, Emilio. Mm-hmm. I think duo when I read that section right there, right? And also we need to add the cap and gown to our boy Jennings Dunker, don't we? Do you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have that that kind of mental fortitude, all that. You'd be able to do that while in college the whole time. You know, I mean, with a mullet like that, he's going out, you know, after a win or two, having a few daddy sodas. So, we appreciate that he's still diving into the books like that. But yeah, a dude that's, basically played right tackle his whole career. In 2023 gave up 5 sacks, in 24 only 2, in 25 only 2, and under double-digit hurries every year. Not bad. And if you're, you go ahead and look at him, take him, step him down one, put him in at right guard, call it a day. We don't need to flip him over to left guard or anything like that. If you want a left guard, take Pregnant, right? So I'd be all for that.
Yeah. Soder in the chat. Smart guy with bad hair checks out.
Yeah.
There you go. Love it. And we went ahead and added that cap the board. So we're good there. Now let's talk about areas for improvement. Lateral agility. We talked about he can get downfield. How does he move laterally? As a tackle, he can struggle with elite NFL speed to power rushers. His hips are somewhat tightly wound, which is why many scouts project him moving inside to guard at the next level. Hand timing. He occasionally extends his arms too early in his pass set, allowing defenders to initiate contact and win his chest. Timing his punch more effectively will be a key coaching point in the NFL. Over-aggression, his nasty playing style can lead to an occasional lunging, causing him to lose balance or miss blocks when facing twitchy interior defenders. The thing that sticks out to me when you read that, hand timing and over-aggression, sounds like a guy trying to overcompensate for shorter arms, right?
And putting him on the edge, right? You got a guy with a little bit shorter arm, maybe on the edge, trying to reach out and get a hold of somebody. Why not move him inside, have a little bit of buffer on each side?
Absolutely. Draft range, early second to round 3. His versatility and Iowa O-line pedigree makes him a high-floor prospect who should compete for a starting interior spot on day 1. Pro comparison is Dominic Pooney or Kevin Zeitler. Kevin Zeitler is actually a free agent this year. One of the free agents we've got listed as one of our top guards. We'd like to see him sign. So this guy, Jennings Dunker, plays a lot like Kevin Zeitler in that regard. All right. Let's see here. Key 2025 statistics: 13 starts at right tackle, 0 sacks allowed first half of the season. Joe Moore Award winner, first team All Big Ten. In terms of injury history, his freshman year, he suffered a broken
sesame seed.
No, it's not sesame seed, not a sesame seed bun. A broken sesamoid or sesamoid bone in his foot. Probably butchered both of them. That required surgery and forced him to redshirt his entire first season. Late 21 to early 22, he sustained an injury during the Citrus Bowl preparations that caused him to miss the following spring practice. 24, he missed 2 games due to a minor knee injury, though he returned to finish the season as a second-team All-Big Ten selection. 25, he remained remarkably durable during all 13 games of the Hawkeyes and showing no signs of lingering issues from his earlier foot or knee problems. So the medical note, despite the moral leg injuries, as Coach Kirk Ferentz called them, early in his career, Dunker enters the draft with a clean bill of health after a full 13-game senior campaign. Obviously, he's sitting currently 49th on our PTA big board. Okay, so he's in the 49 spot. If he's there at 52, run the card. He could go earlier. He could fall later, right? And again, that's if you're okay with using a second-round pick on a guy to play guard. We drafted Jordan Morgan and played him primarily at guard. We took him in the first round, so I think you could check that off the box. We got to wait and see what the thresholds look like, obviously, completely when we get the measurements in. But another thing to mention here, if you were to rank him on our board as a tackle, he's the 7th best tackle as it sits right now. He's behind Blake Miller, who we were able to mock to the Packers before. Don't know if he'll be there at 52, but we do like Blake Miller better than Jennings Dunker. Caleb Lomu, Monroe Frilling, Caden Proctor, of course, Francis Magoa out of Miami, Florida. And then, of course, Spencer Fano is the top tackle there in Utah with a 9.9. So you can kind of see how the tiers fall into place. Jennings Dunker is right there in the same tier with Maxie Hanakor and Caleb Tiernan out of Northwestern. Again, we're not saying these guys are definitely going to be drafted as tackles. We're saying they play tackle, and there's a good chance that some of them will end up being guards. So what do you think about our boy? Actually, let me give you this rep here real quick. This is from the Senior Bowl. You guys are going to love this, all right? I can't remember who he was going up against here. I think it might have been a Clemson guy. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's watch it. Look at our boy sliding outside, taking care of business. Look how fired up he is. Look. That's what you're wanting to see. And, of course, I just threw the tweet out earlier this year, said football guy. Look at that, man. Got the Iowa waterfall.
You got the lettuce rolling out of the helmet, Clay. I mean, that's the flow is just flying around. I'll be all for it.
Yeah. I love the incomplete tattoos, too. And I'm sure there's a certain design that's described as. I think jailhouse tattoo when I see those that aren't completely filled in. Think Tucker Kraft's little cowboy skeleton. I love that tag.
That thing is mean.
Yeah. So then, of course, PFF College said Jennings Dunker, 90 PFF grade over the past 2 seasons, second highest amongst all offensive linemen. There you see a pissed off Jennings Dunker in that one. And then we got another rep here too with Jennings Dunker, I believe. Yeah, let's see. Let's check this rep out here real quick as well. So let's see him set. Going to be a pass blocking set here, right? Rep, getting out, holding the point of attack, good rebound, driving back out of there. That's a stat. That's a strong rep. So the feet, if the feet were and the lateral agility, Emilio, if there were questions going into the Senior Bowl process, it sounds like the way he dominated at the Senior Bowl probably came out checking the boxes, feeling okay about that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And him being a second round pick and stuff like that, you're never going to get somebody that's an absolutely perfect prospect. Perfect prospect that, picks at 50, 60, whatever it is. If he's got a little bit to work on, that's fine. We've always been a draft and develop kind of team. We need to get back to that. But, a guy that has that kind of talent, that kind of size, I would be all for it. You go ahead and coach him up and get him ready to go. But I don't think he would be afraid to come in and start, his rookie year if we needed to at right guard.
Right. There's always going to be questions with these prospects that are outside of the first round, or else they would be first round talent. Right. Yeah. And I heard somebody say yesterday, I'm trying to think of who it was. It might have been Todd McShay. Okay. If you guys don't know, is that right? Is that his name? Todd McShay used to work for ESPN. Now he's off on his own, got a good YouTube channel as well. So there's usually 15 to 18 first round grades. I can't remember if it was our boy Greg Cosell. Did we talk about Greg Cosell, how many he said there was? Do you remember the other day?
I want to say he said 10 to 15.
Is that right?
Yeah. Okay. On the Ross Tucker pod, I'm pretty sure.
I know what it was. Dane Brugler on with Ross Tucker said this year Dane Brugler has 10 to 11 is all. And I think that Greg Cosell said 14, I believe. So somewhere between 10 to 14 is what we're looking at with first round grades. And obviously what we mean by that, guys, and Greg Cosell did a great job explaining on Ross Tucker's football podcast. If you get drafted in the first round, it doesn't mean there's a first round grade. It means that was the best player available, right? First round grades they're kind of in that upper echelon. And we had a graph at one point, like a chart that showed how NFL teams actually stage these guys out. We're probably looking at 10 to 14 that are worthy of a first round pick, although there's going to be 32 first round picks, no doubt about it. That's why you get these teams sometimes that have a little bit better built roster and they go, all right, you know what? We've got this next cluster of guys. We've got 23 prospects in this same cluster. Let's just trade down. We know we're going to get one of these guys. There's plenty of options. And that's where you'll get a team that's a little more needy might be willing to trade up and get a guy, even though they don't have technically a first round grade. The value's good enough where they're picking and by need that you go up and grab them. So
yeah, too old for this says on his board. He's got 6 to 7. I don't know.
I see what he did there. Smart. So appreciate you, Too Old for This, always bringing the humor in the chat.
See.
So there you go, Jennings Dunker. That's the breakdown. Anything else on him, Emilio? You good, man?
No, like you said, I've been fine with anybody from the Iowa O line. It depends on how it falls to me, but I'd be all for it if we can go ahead and make that happen.
Is that Louis over there telling you he's worried about the arm length?
He is. He's over there telling me he's worried about the arm length, and he's very vocal about it. I'm telling you.
I love it, dude. Absolutely love it. All right. So there you go, guys. By the way, Louis is a cat. That's not somebody tied up in Emilio's office there, all right? He's a cat. Everybody calm down. So if you guys are watching this back later, let us know in the comments. How do you feel about Jennings Dunker? Would you be willing to take him at 52? Do you think that's a reach? Do you think he'll be long gone? Let's take the conversation over there to the comments. You guys have been lighting the comments up. Greatly, greatly appreciate the extra conversation we have in there. We're also trying to create more community posts as well here on YouTube. Obviously, you can follow us at patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access as well. But, yeah, so there you go, Jennings Dunker. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know how you feel about him. Hit like, hit subscribe, click the bell icon for us as well.
Tell us if you like his mullet or not. I mean, I think Jacob could probably pull something off like that, don't you? Little mullet, mustache, get rid of the beard and just see what happens.
Yeah, Jacob could definitely pull it off. If I were to grow out a mullet, however, Lord have mercy, I'd end up on some kind of illegal registry somewhere. I would look like
be having you sleep on the couch. Yeah, Manny, I'm growing it out for the season. No, you're not, Clay. No, you're not.
She'd have me out back next to the creek with a tent is what I'd have. Ain't no way I'd be on the couch. Anyway, that's going to do it for hour one. For those of you listening on the pod, we'll see you on the other side for hour two, where we're going to continue to break down prospects and bring you breaking news from the combine as well. We'll see y'all over there. We appreciate you.